Hello guys, today we are going to study one of the basic concepts of SQL, that is the stored procedures. Now what are the stored procedures? So stored procedures are those procedures which consist of number of SQL statements which we are using frequently inside the SQL interface. So we are going to block them in a code so that we are able to reuse them whenever we need. Now, what are the characteristics of the stored procedure? Stored procedure's name should be unique. Secondly, we are able to pass n number of parameters inside it. So why we are passing the parameters? Because we want the dynamic output. Third one is the SQL statement. So SQL statements, we are able to pass the number of SQL statements inside the stored procedure. And next one is the procedural logic. If we want to add any procedures, such as if we want to include the if-else loop, for loop, while loop, we're also able to do that. Last one is return values. It can provide you the values, but we are not able to use the return keyword here. Instead of return keyword, we are using the keyword out for returning the value from the stored procedures. I will tell you while writing the code inside the MySQL interface how to use those keywords. Next is, what are the merits of SQL procedures? First is code reusability. Because we are blocking the SQL statements inside the procedure so that we are able to compile that procedure once, then we are able to call the procedure n number of times. Means we are able to reuse the procedure whenever we want. Second, it provides you the high quality code and its performance is really good. Third is it is more secure because we are limiting the direct access to the tables, right? Because we are making the stored procedures. Now let's see how do we create the procedure inside the MySQL interface. Now, this is the MySQL workbench. I have already created the database, create the table and insert the data. Now, let's see what the data is. So these are the columns: employee ID, first name, last name, salary and department ID. Okay, now let's create a simple procedure. We are going to use delimiter. Then create procedure. Name the procedure whatever you want. Block. Then begin. So why we use the delimiter? Because as we all know, we are writing the procedure. So procedure is different from the SQL statements. And procedure consists of n number of SQL statements because we are able to include more than one SQL statement inside it. So to differentiate the SQL statement from the stored procedures, we need to write the delimiter. Okay, next is begin. With the help of the begin keyword, we are going to write the SQL statement. So I'm just writing the simple procedure. Just select start from employees. Now, so this is the procedure. So how do we call the procedure? Just write call. Procedure name is proc. Now let's run. Now we have created the procedure and called the procedure, right? Now let's pass the parameters inside the procedure. Now I am passing the department ID. It is of int type. Like the procedure here. Begin. Then what I want, select static from employees where department ID equal department. Now next thing is I want to update the salary of all the employees who are working inside that particular department. Alright, let's write that if statement update employees set salary equal to. Now for salary I need to pass one more parameter because I want to increase the salary of those employees who are working in that department. So I'm passing one more parameter, that is cell decimal. So cell into salary where department ID equal to department. Okay, now let's end. Now let's call the procedure call proc1. Now what I want to pass the department ID, that is 121. Now how much increase I want? 1.1 to the in the whole salary. Okay, now let's create the procedure first. Now let's call it. So we have updated the salary of these employees, right? Now let's use the procedural logic inside the stored procedure. Create procedure from new. Okay, now let's pass the employee ID, that is int. Use the begin keyword. Next, let's declare one variable. Declare mcell, which is of decimal type. Now I want to store salary inside this variable. Select salary into mcell from employees where employee ID equal to m ID. Now, if m cell is greater than 70,000, then what we need to print, that particular employee has high status. Select high status as status. Okay. Else, what we need to print, low status. Select low status as status. Now, end f, end block. Okay, so we have created the procedure. Now let's run the procedure. Okay, now call the procedure. Call proc2 employee ID. Let's I'm passing 4. Now this particular employee ID has high status. Now let's see how the stored procedure returns the values. Now we need to define the parameters. First of all, I'm giving the parameters by using int keyword, int department, data type int, then count keyword. What we want? Count. Now count the number of employees are working inside that particular department. So we want count, which is of int type. Now let's write the code. Begin. Now we want to set the variable count equal to select count from employees where department ID equal to department. Right? Now end the. Now how do we call this procedure? First of all, let's run the procedure. Now we have created the procedure. Now let's call the procedure. Call from 3 department ID 122. What we want? Count. So we are going to write @count. Now what we want? Select @count. Okay. Now let's run. So in this department ID, we have number of employees, that is 2. So I have covered all the characteristics of the stored procedure. If you have any doubt, kindly comment. And if you like the video, kindly share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.